I wonder if you knew my father. Do you know what he was interested in before he died? It has something to do with what causes people to be peeping toms.
Scoptophilia, the morbid urge to gaze.
Michael Powell's once damned but now justifiably praised cult film is about a mentally disturbed filmmaker, Carl Bain, who kills women while photographing their deaths because he's obsessed with capturing the pinnacle of fear in his victims' expressions. He places a mirror on his camera so that they can view their own murders. Upon its release, critics were upset that Powell presented that rare cinema murderer whose violent acts corresponded to sexual gratification. Powell doesn't try to be subtle. The long, sharp, hidden knife that is attached to Bame's camera emerges just before his murders, immediately exposing Dame's sexual frenzy. But in Bame's peculiar case, the murder of a woman does not by itself bring him sexual satisfaction. His onanistic climax takes place when he projects the woman's dying expression on the wall in his room. Powell is making the distinction between participation in a brutal act, count us viewers out, and voyeurism, count us viewers in. He is making us identify with Bame because we share his voyeuristic tendencies. Like him, we are entranced by horrible images on the screen, murders, rapes, even mutilation. Viewers like us are in complicity with filmmakers who place brutal, pornographic images on the screen for our gratification. If the voyeur is guilty of violating one's privacy, then Powell sees the filmmaker as being guilty of aggressive acts not unlike rape, where you steal a moment in time and a person's emotions that the person can never have back. And Powell sees the filmmaker as scientist. Both are destructive artists, experimenters, outcasts. To each, the end justifies the means. The villain of the picture is not Bame, but Bame's dead scientist father, played by Powell in a flashback, who used his young son as a guinea pig, terrifying him and filming him to study the effects of fear on the boy's nervous system. With a camera in his hands, the filmmaker stops being a human being and becomes a scientist. And Bame figures that since his scientist filmmaker father, in effect, murdered him, his guinea pig, then he, also a filmmaker scientist, has the right to kill human beings when continuing Dad's experiments. Strangely, Bame bears his father no grudge. The women he kills remind him of his stepmother, whom he calls surrogate female, who likely interfered with the relationship father and son were developing as a result of the noxious experiment. Her home movie of Bame was out of focus. That Bame strives for photographic impeccability shows he wants to prove to be a better partner than this woman who didn't know how to use a camera. A sleazy-looking, after all, the subject is sordid, but amazingly provocative picture, not for all tastes. Unusual characters are played by Moira Shearer, Anna Massey, Maxine Audley, Esmond Knight, Bartlett Mullins, Shirley Ann Field, Nigel Davenport, Brenda Bruce, Martin Miller, Pamela Green.